What's going on, guys? So, I've been gone for a minute. There's been some things going on around here. Mainly, we had a snow day. It snowed, we're not used to it, and bullshit like that. So, what's been going on? Did I watch the gaming awards? No. I just didn't care. I haven't cared for the gaming awards since Konami and Kojima had their falling out, and Konami played bitch. I just haven't cared, and the gaming awards have never really been that good. I did hear that Zelda won Game of the Year, which doesn't surprise me considering Zelda has had a shitload of content come out. The DLC 2 pack came out, and even more content. Okay, Horizon Zero Dawn. I feel like that's kind of why you didn't win. We all know you have the one DLC and you're not doing any more. You kind of came out and said that. Guerrilla Games, you kind of limited yourself here. I understand you want to move on to other things, but people loved Horizon Zero. I'm not going to take anything away from that. People loved Horizon Zero Dawn. They loved it so much they compared it to Breath of the Wild, even though I've entered the argument saying you can't do that considering Zelda's a legacy. Horizon's a new IP. There is no argument here. Just because Horizon's an open world RPG and Zelda's an open world RPG, there's no comparison. Zelda's a legacy. Horizon has nothing. Okay? Until Horizon has about 4 or 5 games under its belt, there's no comparison of the two. And that's still how I stand by that. So, that aside, Horizon, I feel like you would have been more of a contender had there been DLC packs. Had you come out with, like you came out with that one DLC pack, had you been like, this isn't the only DLC pack, we got another one coming, you might have been a contender. Because we know there's only 2 for Breath of the Wild. We think there's only 2. There could be more. We could be completely wrong. But we know for sure there's 2 for Breath of the Wild, and they just released the second one after the Gaming Awards. I just bought the DLC. That's a shitload of content that you got for $20 fucking dollars. I don't think you understand how much content you got for $20 fucking dollars. There's a shitload of content there, and I hear people all the time, there's a shitload of Dead Space. They filled that Dead Space quite nicely with all that fucking content. Horizon. I feel like this is why you fell short. Because you have the one fucking DLC. Had it been... We have the one here. Yes, the Frozen Wilds. Yes, we have that one. But we're coming with another one maybe 6 months down the line. And the Frozen Wild is going to be jam-packed. We promise like 40 hours more gameplay in this. And then the one coming maybe 6 months later is going to have another 40 hours of gameplay in there. You would have probably been like, holy crap, these two were battling this shit out. You see what I'm saying? But because Guerrilla Games, because you didn't come with that. I feel like Breath of the Wild, because they guaranteed 2 of them when the game launched, they took it from you. You see what I'm saying? And you can think, oh, that's not true. But a lot of people bought Breath of the Wild on day one. And that expansion pass, that $20 expansion pass, or season pass, whatever they call it, on day one. So they had those things preloaded on their Switch. Or their Wii U, whatever they bought it for. Myself, I bought it for both systems. I only have the DLC on my Switch. I'm just pointing that out because I only just now bought the DLC. I didn't buy it day one. I just bought it yesterday, just to point some things out to you. But I feel like that's what held you back. Okay, and you can say, oh, well, this is your own opinion, and you would not be wrong. But due to the fact of how much content Breath of the Wild has, I feel like this game handed it to you. Due to the fact of how much more content is there, is what handed it to you. You feel what I'm saying? They stole it from you just because of that. You see what I'm saying? It was nothing else other than Horizon, you can be the best game of all time. You could be. I don't know yet because I haven't been able to play it. You could be. I own it. I haven't played it yet. It's at my girlfriend's house. I'm not going to quit saying that because it's true. My PS4 sits at her house to this day. I bought the game and she's had the PS4 ever since. And I've been playing Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Rayman Legends. I've been preoccupied with my Switch. That's just the way things have gone. Okay, so she's played Horizon. She finally beat it, but she's played Horizon. I've been playing the Switch. I haven't played it at all. So let's get that perfectly clear. But from what I have seen, the game itself is amazing. But what pushed Breath of the Wild over the edge was the knowledge that we all had that Breath of the Wild was having 2 major expansions. And you were only coming with 1. That right there made the decision of who was Game of the Year. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds was a first-person shooter. We knew that wasn't going to take it. Everybody was talking about Horizon and Zelda, and they've been talking about it for months. So it came down to those 2 games. You could say, oh, but what about Mario Odyssey? That game came out in October. Why that was even a fucking thing was beyond me. But it was always going to come down to Horizon and fucking Zelda. And I think what pushed it over the edge was there's 2 DLCs, 2 major content packs for Breath of the Wild. Well, what about Horizon? We know of only 1. There's obviously way more content in Zelda than there is Horizon. And that's what won it, if you ask me. It's probably also what won it if you ask a lot of other people. Now, I could be wrong, and again, this is only my opinion, but I'm 100% sure that if you ask anybody who buys video games, they're going to tell you the reason they buy them is the content in the game. Which is why Battlefront has not sold. Which is why EA is having problems. Get what I'm saying to you? So, Horizon, your game at launch could be packed full of content, just like Breath of the Wild is. But how much content are you packing into that expansion? Considering there's 2 for Breath of the Wild that add in a shitload of content, and it took me 10 hours to just get 1 of the fucking Divine Beast champions done after I got the 2nd DLC pack. How many hours are in your 1 expansion compared to the DLCs of fucking Zelda? You see what I'm saying? I think that is what it comes down to. And again, you could say I'm completely wrong here. This is just my opinion. But when you talk to people who buy video games, they look at content, how much content or quality is there versus how much they got to spend to get all that. Again, we're looking at EA for that. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's what took it. Because there's a shitload there for Zelda. A shitload. Now that both of them DLCs are out there, is a shitload. Holy crap. I've got it in my system now because of how much more content is there. I haven't had that game in there in the Switch, for 3 months. And after I downloaded the DLCs, I put Zelda in the system to play it. And it has not been out since. It has not. Now, again, that's just my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. Do whatever you gotta do. But I think that's what won it. Okay, again, I didn't watch the Gaming Awards, but I heard Zelda took it. And I think that's the reason why. And again, I'm not taking anything away from Horizon. Horizon, you could be Game of the Year, no problem. It's just, I think that is why Zelda won it. You understand what I'm saying? So, that's my take on it. Again, Zelda is not at all in any shape, form of a discussion piece to Horizon's better than Zelda. That bullshit, no. Horizon is not better than Zelda, not because Zelda won Game of the Year. But the reason Horizon will never be better than Zelda is because Zelda is a legacy fucking franchise. It's over 30 years old now. Horizon, you're not even 1 year old yet. Let Horizon get at least 4 games in and let it actually become a franchise. Then we can have that discussion. People still talk about this game, Ocarina of Time. They still talk about A Link to the Past. They still talk about Majora's Mask. Horizon, until you get to that level, you will never be in the same category as Zelda. I'm putting a stop to that conversation, to that debate right now. You understand? Doesn't matter about graphics. It doesn't matter about frames per second. It doesn't matter about content. These games, even in the 4K era, are still brought up. Until you can do that, years after your game, you are nowhere near the legacy you need to be. You understand? Guerrilla Games, you made a great game here. I'm not going to take away from you. But these fanboys need to calm down, because that's what they are. They're fanboys. I understand you like Horizon. I understand that. But calm down. Saying that this game is better than a legacy. It's not. It's not even a legacy. Calm down. You'll be okay. I'll see you guys next time.